Hello. So, I'm here with a ranking. Oh. For these guys. Obituary. Now, as you guys know, I don't own any of their records yet. I'm going to do this ranking, and then I'm going to kind of give sort of my thoughts on the band as a whole. Consisting of, currently, Ken Andrews on guitar, Trevor Perez on guitar, Terry Butler on bass, and brothers John and Donald on vocals and drums, respectively. So, right off the hop, the ranking. For those of you who know this band, you don't need me to explain to you who they are, what they sound like, etc., etc. But, without a doubt, one of the most consistently sound bands in the early days of death metal. So to start this out, my notes, I'm going to go through the ranking and then I'm going to kind of talk about the band. Because it was really hard to do this, and I sort of just hen-scratched this last minute because I realized that there was 2 records I was missing while I was streaming. Because, again, when you don't own anything, you have to sort of stream things. So this is sort of poorly constructed because there's 2 other records I forgot. So, 11 studio albums, and my number 11 pick is 2014's Inked in Blood. The way I rank this is not due to how the songs are written or anything. It's mostly based on production. Mostly. So 2014's Inked in Blood comes in at number 11. Number 10 is 1997's Back from the Dead. There seemed to be a fair bit of nu metal sounding, feels like songs. I know they're a death metal band, but that's not sort of not the point. There's a certain couple of songs on that record that seemed really sort of nu metal-ish. I would rather nu metal stay to nu metal. Number 9, we're going to go with 1992's The End. Now, you got to, again, some people are going to watch this and be like, why are these ranked like this? Because it's grossly consistent and it's extremely difficult for me to do that. And I'll get to that after I sort of talk about it. Number 8, 2005, Frozen in Time. At number 7, we have 2007's Executioner's Return. At number 6, we have 1994's World Demise. I actually really like that record. Number 5, we have 2009's Darkest Day, which sounds very much like Cause of Death 2.0. Number 4, we have Obituary from 2017. That record just sounds a lot better production-wise. And it's where you can tell that the band is really starting to pick up in terms of ass-kickery. Now, number 3, 2023, this year's Dying of Everything. So obviously we have 1989's Slowly We Rot and 1990's Cause of Death. I put Slowly We Rot at number 2, and obviously Cause of Death being number 1. Cause of Death is where you really sort of get Obituary becoming Obituary. They really did it. They did things well on the first record. You know, like, it's Slowly We Rot is a record that people really, really latch onto a lot. And it being the debut, it's always going to stand out as the most classic of records. You could honestly put this in any sort of order. Darkest Day and Executioner's Return I didn't even know existed because it was based on streaming. But I did give it a quick listen. I'm like, okay, I see where I see where I could put them. Just based off of how the songs are written and the production and that sort of thing. Cause of Death is just a really amazing record. Every single song on that record is perfect. Even their cover of Circle of the Tyrants by Celtic Frost, which you can really hear their influence on this band as a whole going through the entire thing. The one thing that I gotta say about Celtic Frost is, or not Celtic Frost, see, here we go. The one thing I have to say about Obituary is they're so grossly consistent. They're extremely reminiscent of this band. And there's going to be people that are going to say, well, no, you're full of shit. They're the AC/DC of death metal. The songs are simple. The songs do sound very samey on every record. When it got to the point where I was listening to the discography, I listened to it in full. And by the time I got to, by the time I got to 97's Back from the Dead, I'm like, okay, this is very much an AC/DC sameness, very consistent band. Now, because I didn't have Darkest Day and Executioner's Return, I did put them at, I put Darkest Day at number 5 and Executioner's Return at number 7. The thing is those records sound really good. Everything is very composed because it's Obituary. When you listen to an Obituary record, you get Obituary. Okay, I know I said that a bunch. When Dying of Everything come out, I had to laugh because I'm like, they're really the big chunk of time between the last record was 2017, which is a self-titled, right? And yeah, you can say that's 4 years. Well, technically 4 years. Not 4 years, 7 years. Oh, wait, no. 6 years. But technically, because there was that chunk of time where nobody could do anything, they put out another Obituary record. And it's the same thing when you're talking about these guys. For the first several years of their career, up until this point in Highway to Hell, they put out, everything is very much rock and roll. With these guys, it's death metal. Okay? And the thing about it is they kept it very much the same, and it's consistent. You know what you're getting when you listen to an Obituary record. Slow songs, some slightly more faster songs. You're going to get consistency throughout. You're going to get John Tardy sort of at this, it's not even a growl, it's not even a scream, but it's almost like listening to these guys, except he's like more demonic, I guess, in a sense. And the thing about Obituary is because you have probably one of the fuzziest strat tones I've ever heard on a record. Because you get this AC/DC sort of feel, after I'd listened to the discography from Sunday to about Wednesday, because I only have so much time throughout the day to actually give it listens. When I listened to each song afterwards in terms of a shuffle, I didn't know which record they were on. It's just like, which one is this? So I have to bring my phone up and I have to kind of tap it to get it to come back on. So I go, okay, it's off that record. The big thing is because they're so grossly consistent, it's super hard to tell which record they're on until you hear production values and you go, okay, this sounds like it's on Back in the Day. This sounds like it's on Inked in Blood. And the thing about Inked in Blood is this probably got one of the best album covers that they've ever put out. But the problem is the production sounds so horrible. Even Back from the Dead. Like, even Back from the Dead's got sort of a shady kind of fucking production. It sounds muddy. And even though muddy is, like, good in some cases for these guys, it's... I sort of want to hear a little bit better production. But hey, what are you going to do? That all being said, these guys are Obituary is the AC/DC of death metal. If you want same sort of structures and styles and feel, put on Obituary. If you want complete technicality and, evil and angry, you'll listen to these guys. If you want, like, groovy death metal, that's when you listen to Cannibal. So again, could I go back and listen to all these? Yeah, probably. And most likely over the next little bit, I'm going to probably start picking some of their stuff up. But again, a lot of what I want out of Obituary, because I was going to grab a couple albums yesterday at my local, but they don't have any, and they don't have any at the secondhand shops. And I've never seen them. But that's okay. Not a big issue. I'll probably look online or something and go from there. That being said, that's my ranking. I hope you guys like this. I hope you guys check it out. Leave me comments in the video. I do apologize about not having this done yesterday. Yesterday was a bit of a woohoo. And couple more things. One, I hope all of the dads out in the VC have had a wonderful, wonderful Father's Day. And number two, once I get these bed tracks for these vocal covers, I will be out to Roy's to get these recorded and filmed and all that jazz. And I just got to kind of figure out how I want to do all the ins and outs. And depending on the day, I might get a bunch of them banged out in a bit. And then what I'll do is I'll just release them to the channel. And I've got the 5 that you guys obviously seen in my community tab. You can go check them out. I believe Pull the Plug by Death, Testament, Souls of Black, Megadeth's The Conjuring, I believe, Children of a Worthless God by Exodus, and 2 others are completely escaped my brain at this point. I think one's an Exodus track, and no, I already said Exodus. Yeah, so I'll eventually get to those. That might be a little bit. I do have a collection update coming, but I'll get to that at another time. And so yeah, we'll go from there, guys. Thank you very much. I hope if you like this, hit the like button, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And let me know in the comments how wrong or how right I am. Doesn't really matter. I mean, you guys are all going to have a differencing of opinion. So anyways, cheers, and I'll see you all later.